Hello everybody, this is Mike from Starstructure Telescopes, and in this video we'll be explaining how to adjust azimuth using our top azimuth bolt adjustment. When you do this adjustment, you want the telescope fully assembled with all the weight that's going to be on the telescope, such as eyepieces, paracores, finder scopes, etc. This way, when we make the adjustment, it's to the full weight of the telescope. You also want to have your upper tube assembly orientated very close to zenith, so this way the opening in the back of the mirror box for the mirror cell will be centered over the encoder assembly, giving you ample room to remove all the hardware. The tools you will need will be an 11/16 box end wrench, a stubby Phillips screwdriver, and either a 5/64 or 3/32 long shaft Allen key, depending on what size scope you have. I use both sizes, so just have both size Allen keys. Here I'm showing a close-up of the assembly. The lower assembly is actually what gets adjusted. That has 3 set screws in it, and then you can see the top set screw, that's what holds the encoder in. We do machine a flat spot in our encoder shaft, so you want to make sure when you reinstall the encoder that you orientate the flat spot on the shaft to line up with the set screw. First thing we want to do is remove the encoder, the azimuth encoder and arm. I'm going to start by removing this Phillips screw and the set screw underneath the encoder. With the encoder removed, I can show you the assembly. You can see the bottom part of the assembly, which has the 11/16 nut machined into it, and this is actually the center bolt where the encoder goes in. If you look at the center bolt, you can see that it has 6 flat spots. To do the adjustment, we need to remove the 3 set screws in the nut portion of the adjuster, and then we're going to put our wrench on it and rotate it counterclockwise to lift the rocker assembly off the ground board. The idea here is to make the rocker float on the ground board so it's nice and free to move. You can see this notch here, so if you get down, I'm going to rotate it to line up the first set screw with the notch and remove that, and then I will rotate the rocker, repeating the process, removing all 3 bottom set screws. Now I have all 3 set screws removed. What I want to do is I want to move it from where it was, lined up with whatever flat spot, to the next flat spot in a counterclockwise movement with the 11/16 wrench. I have the 11/16 wrench on it. I'm going to move it counterclockwise till I line up the set screw with the next notch. Okay, and then I want to hold the center bolt from moving, kind of line up the wrench so that the shaft of the wrench is lined up with your set screw. Holding the wrench, I'm going to rotate the rocker till it's lined up with the notch again, because it will move. It's a little difficult with the so I want to have it like that, in other words, so then when I lift the wrench off, my next hole should be pretty close lined up with the notch. Then I'm going to install that set screw, ensuring that it's centered on the flat spot of the bolt, and I'm going to tighten 1 set screw in all the way. So now I've put in 1 set screw and I've tightened it all the way. Now I can remove the wrench, rotate the rocker so that I can install the 2 remaining set screws. So I'm just going to line it up with the next set screw, put that set screw in, tighten it, repeat the process on the last one. A single notch should be all you need, but if it's not, put 1 set screw in. You can test how your azimuth is moving right then. If you need to move it again, simply remove the 1 set screw, go 1 more notch counterclockwise, put the set screw back in, and repeat the process. Once you have the 3 set screws back in place and tight, then line up the flat spot on the encoder shaft, with the top set screw, reinstall the encoder, put the Phillips screw back in, and it's done. Okay, if you need any further assistance with this, you can contact me via email at starstructure@verizon.net. Thank you.